Lucas Sports came across a video. Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV. He made a video about Terrance Crawford, undisputed at 147. Terrance Crawford did an interview with Earn Your Leisure, EYL. Shout out to them as well. Like I said, this is just part of his victory tour he's been going on. But I ended up watching Blue Blood's video, and Terrance Crawford talked about several things. One of them was, he just talked about his investments, which I like. Terrance Crawford said that he talked about owning 20 acres, but he said he owned storefronts. I can't remember. I think he said 40 properties in Nebraska. And just a bunch of other different things. He also talked about how when he went to turn pro, the gym he was at, they wanted to force him into a contract, and he ended up not signing it. And that he ended up getting kicked out of the gym, which ended up convincing him to start his own gym. And he talked about how it's free. And one of the sides is for football, one of the sides is for wrestling. And I think a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are just now starting to figure out who Terrance Crawford is. But Terrance Crawford, he actually wrestled growing up, and his kids believed they were national champions at wrestling. So that's why a lot of things you've seen when he fought Earl Spence. Shout out to Earl. You see him being aggressive at times. I mean, because Crawford, he's originally a wrestler. One thing about wrestlers, man, they tough. But Terrance Crawford also talked about the business of boxing and how a lot of times the fights don't, like, you can't necessarily fight a champion, and if you sign with PBC, you can't fight for Top Rank or whatever else because of the business, and they don't necessarily want you to take the belt back to the other promotional company without them getting something from it as well. And he also mentioned that he was only getting 6 to 8% of the gate when he was signed with Top Rank, and that he's glad that the Earl Spence fight, because the hedge fund was going to actually give them money originally. He talked about it in a previous interview, but he said that he's glad that they didn't do the hedge fund, because the hedge fund just would have took the guarantee. They would have got the guaranteed, and that might have been it. So they're probably going to make more money on the just by doing that the format they did. And he also just talked about like Top Rank, and my thing with him on Top Rank is, I mean, I agree with him. I'm glad that he did go to PBC, or he's independent now, but a lot of people don't remember, but he signed a guaranteed deal with Top Rank and ESPN. So he was getting guaranteed money, and a lot of us diehard fans was wanting him to be either independent or signed with PBC back then, and he didn't. And same thing with Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley did the same thing as well. That's why we never really seen him fight a lot of guys on the PBC side, was because he went ahead and redid a deal with Top Rank. But, I mean, as I said before, I'm glad Terrance Crawford is getting his props. I keep seeing people are making excuses for Earl. And the thing that I like about what Terrance said was, he's not making any excuses for Earl. I mean, Earl's not making any excuses. And people are just so shocked that he won in the way he did that they're trying to find a reason. And, maybe, like I said, Terrance Crawford, he just had a bad night. I mean, Terrance Crawford. Earl Spence has had a bad night. It happens. I mean, Terrance Crawford, he's just one of those special fighters. But yeah, tell me what y'all think.